Hi everyone, welcome to Mr. O's Classroom. This video is part of my cricket series. Today I will be showing you how to calculate your batting average. So the batting average, a really important metric that is very valuable to gauge the success of a batter in cricket. Of course, the most famous batting average in cricket would probably be Sir Donald Bradman, the little master from Australia, and his batting average was an incredible 99.94, which, to be honest with you, I don't know will ever be beaten. But there's been a lot of great cricketers since then. Depends on how far you want to stretch back. There was Tendulkar and Ponting and Lara, right through to who we've got now, Steve Smith, Virat Kohli, and of course Joe Root, who's batting very well at the moment. So I've come up with a bit of a nod to the present and a nod to the past when I was growing up. And I've come up with a player called Virat Tendulkar, who's got both the attributes of Virat, the aggression, and Tendulkar, the incredible technique, incredible poise, and amazing discipline. What incredible players they both are. So this is what you have to have. If you want to work out your batting average, anywhere from local cricket maybe to a park in Bangalore, or maybe even a bit of backyard cricket, which is so popular here in Australia. And I know that it happens often in other countries as well. So this is what you need to know. You need to know how many innings you've played. So I've got here Virat Tendulkar has played 10 innings. And you need to know what they have scored or you have scored in each of those innings. So I've made up some scores here. And when I look down this list, I am estimating that Virat Tendulkar is going to have quite a good average. There's lots of scores above 50, which is, traditionally a great average. And there's a couple of scores even above 100. So let's be interesting to see what average he ends up with, Virat Tendulkar. So there's a couple of strategies you could use to add up this score. You could use a calculator, which I'm going to do, or you could also use the vertical addition strategy. So using the calculator, I've added up all the scores, and I've found that Virat Tendulkar in his 10 innings scored 713 runs. Okay, so that's the first part. Now, to determine the average, what we need to do is divide how many innings there have been by the total amount of runs scored. So it would look a little bit like this, 713 divided by 10 in this instance, okay? So that's the runs scored, total runs scored, divided by the innings. So I can use the short division strategy if I would like, or because it is 10, what I like to do is just use a little trick of knowing that there's a decimal point here and move the decimal point one place. So that would mean that Virat Tendulkar in this innings, this set of scores averages 71.3, which is an incredible average. So he's done very, very well. Very, very well. Now, that's the simple version. Because there was 10 innings, it's quite easy sort of just to use that trick of moving the decimal point. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to put a little asterisk above 142. What that asterisk usually sort of symbolizes is that 142 was actually not out. So this is the interesting thing about the average. If a player has a not out innings, that means they have not been dismissed. It means that that innings is not counted when we divide how many innings there were. So instead of 10 innings, there will only be 9 now because one of them was a not out innings. And so what this will do is it will increase the average. And so you may have heard that some players, maybe not always the most team-orientated players, like to, play for the not out average so that their average gets a little bit higher. So this obviously makes it a little bit trickier because we can no longer use our decimal place trick. And it's a good thing to show because most of the time you're not going to just play 10 innings. There might be 15 or 18 or maybe 122 or something across your career. So it's good to know that there's different ways to do this. So again, you could use a calculator. I'm going to show you the short division strategy just by hand, but you could use the calculator. So we take our 713, we put the bracket across like that, and we are dividing by 9. Okay, so this is what we have to do. There is, we look at our hundreds first, and 9 cannot go into 7, so that makes it 0. So now we're looking at 71, which goes 7 times with 8 remaining. Okay, so now we're looking at an average in the 70s. 9 goes into 83 9 times with 2 remaining, and we're going to put a decimal point here now. We make that a 20, goes in 2. Okay, so the average would be 79.22. Okay, so you can see that with that not out innings, and it was quite a substantial innings of 142, it has increased our batters' average by about 9 runs per innings, which is quite incredible. So what you'll find is that the smaller, less innings that you have, the more important not outs are, because they will increase your average by further and further. But as you move further into your career and you play more and more innings, you have to have more and more not outs to increase your average. And you have to have more and more high scores as well. So it is harder to increase your average when you have played more, but also it is also harder to decrease your average when you have played more. So it's a little bit of a juxtaposition there. So thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to check out my cricket series for more cricket metric videos and how-tos. See you next time.